Your job might give you a paycheck, but personal growth gives you a lifetime of opportunities. Focus on self-improvement, and your work will begin to reflect your progress. Success starts from within. Success is not about doing more work. It's about becoming more of who you are meant to be. Work on yourself, and your life will follow. Success isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter on yourself. The journey to a fulfilling and successful life begins with personal growth. The real change happens when you focus not just on your job or external circumstances, but on who you are becoming. When you invest in your mindset, your skills, your habits, and your emotional strength, everything else falls into place. You'll find yourself handling challenges with greater ease, seizing opportunities with confidence, and living with purpose and clarity. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, but real progress happens when you dedicate time to developing yourself. Remember, the most powerful tool you have is your own potential. If you're ready to elevate your life, the first step is simple. Start by working harder on yourself than on anything else. The results will speak for themselves. Now, let's dive in. Number 1. Build your habits stronger than your daily tasks. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. That's the first thing I learned when I started changing my life. And the value doesn't come from the job. It doesn't come from the tasks. It comes from you. The work you do on yourself determines how well you perform, how far you go, and how strong you become. Most people think working harder means staying longer at the office, answering more emails, making more calls. But the truth is, if you want to change your life, you don't start with the job. You start with yourself. The real effort, the hard work, the most important work is not out there. It's inside. You have to build your habits stronger than your daily tasks. Why? Because tasks end. Deadlines pass. The meeting gets over. But your habits, what you wake up with, what you sleep with, how you think, how you choose, how you respond, that stays, that shapes your future. If your habits are weak, you will break when things get hard. If your habits are strong, you'll rise when others quit. Daily tasks might keep you busy, but strong habits make you better, and better is what we want. Say you get up every morning and go straight to work. You rush through your day, checking boxes, doing what's expected. You come home tired. You feel like you've worked hard, but have you really improved? Have you grown? Are you closer to the person you want to be? That's the trap. Most people are running in circles, busy, yes, but productive, not really. You can't just repeat tasks and hope for transformation. You have to grow your foundation. And that starts with your habits. The habit of reading, the habit of thinking, the habit of writing down your goals, the habit of planning your week before it starts, the habit of reflecting before bed. These are not flashy. They don't get applause, but they change you, quietly, deeply. The reason habits matter more than tasks is because habits control what you do, even when no one's watching. Tasks are usually assigned. Habits are chosen. And your choices are where your power lives. You don't need to wait for someone to give you a task to improve your health. You can choose to walk, eat well, stretch, sleep better. You don't need a boss to tell you to think bigger. You can do that on your own. That's the difference between someone chasing tasks and someone building their future. If you want to make more money, don't just chase better jobs. Become a better version of you. If you want more respect, don't just perform well. Develop character. If you want stability, don't just manage time. Build discipline. That's how real results happen. Because the person who works harder on themselves builds skills no one can take away. Confidence, discipline, self-control, mental toughness. These are not on job descriptions, but these are what employers notice, what clients trust, what people follow. Every day you have a choice. You can just get through your tasks, or you can build something stronger. Yourself. Take a look at how much time you spend just doing things versus how much time you spend becoming something. Most people don't even think about that. They think effort is enough. But if the effort is scattered, if it has no purpose, if it leads you nowhere new, it's wasted. Now imagine this. You wake up early, not just to start your tasks, but to work on your mindset. You read for 30 minutes to feed your mind. You write your goals to remind yourself of what matters. You move your body to take control of your health. You plan your day before it pulls you in different directions. And when the workday starts, you're not just reacting, you're leading it. That's what strong habits do. They give you control. They bring peace. They build momentum. And when you do that every day, it compounds. It adds up. People around you will notice. You'll start standing out. Not because you're louder, not because you work more hours, but because you've become more focused, more thoughtful, more dependable. Your energy changes. Your eyes look clearer. Your tone becomes more confident. That's the result of self-work. Now here's the hard part. Building habits takes time. It takes patience. There are no shortcuts. There's no trick. It's you deciding again and again to do what's hard but right. Not just once, but every day. You will feel tired. You will feel like skipping. But if you only do the work when it's easy, you'll stay the same. If you do the work when it's hard, you will rise. The pain of discipline is temporary. The strength it gives you stays. And don't wait for motivation. That's another mistake. Motivation is good, but it's not reliable. Habits are. Motivation can come and go, but when you build a habit, it runs, even when you don't feel like it. That's power. Working harder on yourself than your job doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities. It means strengthening the person who handles those responsibilities. You show up more prepared. You make better decisions. You manage stress better. You stop reacting and start responding. That's the difference between surviving and succeeding, between just working and becoming someone worth following. Ask yourself today, am I just completing tasks? Or am I building a foundation? Don't wait for the world to change. Change yourself. Don't wait for permission. Give it to yourself. You are your greatest project. You are your best investment. Every minute you spend improving yourself, thinking, learning, journaling, planning, those minutes don't disappear. They stay with you. They add something permanent to your character, to your thinking, to your results. And once that happens, you're not just working a job anymore. You're living a life with direction, with standards, with strength. That's what separates the average from the excellent. They don't rely on tasks to define them. They use habits to create the life they want. Start today. Build one habit. Stick to it. Then add another. Keep going. Don't aim for perfect. Aim for progress. Stay consistent. That's how you win. Number 2. Develop your character more than your career goals. Most people think success is about setting big goals. They imagine the dream job, the title, the office, the income. They build their lives around chasing these goals. And yes, career goals are important. They push you forward, they give direction. But there's something even more important than any of that. Your character is who you are. When nobody's watching, it's what guides your decisions. When there's no pressure, it's how you treat people who can do nothing for you. It's whether or not you stay honest when cutting corners would be easier. Career goals can open doors, but character is what keeps those doors open. If your character is weak, no goal can hold up the weight of real success. But if your character is strong, you can handle the pressure, the attention, the rewards, and the challenges. You don't get thrown off track. You don't fall apart when things don't go your way. You stay grounded. Character isn't built by dreaming. It's built by doing, by choosing honesty when lies are easier, by staying committed when quitting would feel better, by being kind when anger feels justified, by showing up even when no one says thank you. You can set all the career goals you want, but if you don't build the kind of person who can lead, grow, and inspire, those goals won't last. Promotions will come and go. Money can grow or disappear, but character stays with you through every stage. Look around. The people you admire most, those who earn lasting respect, are not just skilled. They're not just talented. They have integrity. They follow through. They take responsibility. They lift others up. That's not talent. That's character. And it can't be faked. It's easy to get caught up in the grind. You make a list of goals. You check boxes. You track progress. You measure outcomes. But what's harder, And more valuable is asking yourself who you are becoming. Are you becoming more patient? Are you more disciplined than last year? Are you more dependable than before? Those are not flashy questions. They don't impress anyone on paper, but they shape everything. If your goals grow faster than your character, you will sabotage your own success. You'll get the opportunity, but won't know how to handle it. You'll get noticed, but lose trust. You'll gain position, but not respect. People think character is something you're born with, but that's not true. Character is built, one decision at a time, one response at a time. It's a daily choice to do the right thing, even when it slows you down, even when it costs you something, even when no one sees it. You don't need to wait for a crisis to build character. You build it in the little things. When you listen instead of interrupting, when you show up on time, when you keep your word, when you treat others with dignity. These things might seem small, but they are not. They are the foundation of trust. And trust builds influence. You want to grow in your career? Good. But ask yourself, do you want to be admired or respected? Do you want to win fast or last long? Because character is what gives your work depth. It gives your effort meaning. It gives your relationships strength. And it gives your leadership credibility. No one wants to follow someone who's only chasing titles. They want to follow someone who stands for something. Someone who lives by principles. Someone who values people, not just progress. That's who you become when you choose to develop character first. So how do you start? You start by setting standards for yourself that are higher than what others expect of you. You follow through on what you say, even when it's inconvenient. You take responsibility. When you make a mistake, you speak truth even when it's uncomfortable. You stay humble when things go well, and you stay kind even when others are not. This is not about being perfect. It's about being real, being strong, being someone who others can count on. And more than that, it's about becoming someone you respect when you look in the mirror. Career goals can bring recognition, but character brings peace. It gives you the ability to sleep well at night, to walk through your day with clarity, to lead others without pretending, to work without compromising who you are. There will always be pressure to achieve. There will always be people telling you to push harder, faster, higher. But if you don't anchor yourself in values, the pressure will push you in the wrong direction. You will start cutting corners. You will start comparing yourself to others. You will become impatient, frustrated, bitter. And that's the danger. When success grows faster than your character, it starts to feel empty. You get the position, but feel lost. You hit the goal, but don't feel proud. You reach the milestone, but feel exhausted. Because goals achieved without personal growth never feel fulfilling. So don't just measure your progress in job titles. Measure it in self-control, in your ability to stay calm under stress, in your ability to stay honest when no one would know otherwise, in your ability to lift others up instead of stepping on them. Real success is being the same person in the dark as you are in the light. It's saying what you mean, and meaning what you say. It's doing your best even when it goes unnoticed. That's character, and it shows up in how you live, not just what you say. You don't need to wait for a promotion to grow. You don't need more money to build values. You can work on your character today. You can become more thoughtful, more courageous, more forgiving, more focused, more generous. Build these traits into who you are. Practice them every day. Let your words match your actions. Let your effort match your promises. Let your standards rise above what's comfortable. Because when you grow your character, you are preparing yourself for more. You become someone who can handle greater influence. You become someone who can be trusted with more responsibility. You become someone who builds teams, earns respect, and creates lasting impact. This world has plenty of people with talent, plenty of people with ambition. What it needs is people with strength of character, people who choose principle over popularity, people who choose truth over ease, people who care more about doing what's right than looking impressive. Build yourself into that kind of person. Focus on becoming better, not just appearing better. Focus on living by values, not just chasing validation. Because in the end, career goals might get you in the room, but character is what keeps you there. Career goals might bring you rewards, but character brings you meaning. And when your character is solid, you don't just achieve more, you become someone worth becoming. Number 3, grow your mindset faster than your work skills. Most people think that if they just learn more skills, they'll automatically succeed. They focus on techniques, tools, certifications, and systems. And while skills are important, they're not enough. Your results will always reflect the level of your thinking. That's why your mindset must grow faster than your work skills. See, you can be trained to do a task. You can be taught how to follow a process. But the mindset you bring to those things, that's what separates you from everyone else. A fixed mindset will limit you. No matter how skilled you are, an open mindset will take you further, even when you're still learning. Skills get you started. Mindset keeps you going. Your mindset decides how you respond to pressure, how you deal with failure, how you treat progress, and how you see yourself. If you don't believe you can improve, then no amount of training will matter. But if you believe in growth, you will keep getting better, even without perfect conditions. Every person I've ever met who reached their full potential didn't just focus on getting better at their job. They focused on getting better at how they think. They trained their mind to stay strong when things got hard. They refused to stay down after setbacks. They stayed calm in uncertainty. They stayed patient in the process. That's not skill. That's mindset. Mindset is about what you believe about yourself. It's how you interpret problems. It's how you view time, effort, and feedback. If your mindset tells you that you're not good enough, you'll work with fear. If your mindset tells you that growth is always possible, you'll work with courage. You can learn how to do a job, but if you don't develop the belief that you can grow beyond that job, you'll stay stuck. That's why you must build your mind faster than you build your resume. When I was starting out, I focused a lot on learning the basics, how to communicate, how to sell, how to plan. But the real breakthrough came when I realized I needed to change how I was thinking. I needed to believe in new possibilities. I needed to challenge my assumptions. I needed to raise my expectations. Most people don't fail because they lack skill. They fail because they stop believing. They stop learning. They stop questioning. They stop stretching. They stop doing the things that develop mental strength. You cannot allow that. So how do you grow your mindset? You start by choosing what you feed your mind. You stop filling your time with distractions and start filling your mind with knowledge, truth, and challenge. You read books that stretch your thinking. You listen to ideas that push you beyond your comfort zone. You ask yourself better questions, questions that move you forward instead of keeping you stuck. You surround yourself with people who challenge you. You stop defending your limits. You welcome feedback, not as a judgment, but as a tool. That's how you build a growth mindset, and you practice. Because mindset doesn't grow by accident. It grows by repetition. Every time you keep going when it's hard, you build resilience. Every time you learn something from a mistake, you build intelligence. Every time you speak up, even when you're nervous, you build confidence. These things don't come from a course. They come from a choice. Your work skills might get you a job, but your mindset determines how you show up to that job every day. It decides whether you complain or stay focused, whether you wait or take initiative, whether you play it safe or lead with purpose. Skills answer the question, can you do this? Mindset answers the question, will you grow while doing this? Skills change what you can do. Mindset changes who you are becoming. The workplace will keep changing. New tools will come. New systems will rise. The people who grow the fastest are not the ones with the most talent. They are the ones with the mindset to adapt, to embrace change, and to learn constantly. They are not threatened by change. They are fueled by it. That's why I say this. Don't just train for the job. Train your mind for the challenges. The job can't predict. Build your thinking to be bigger than your tasks. Let your thinking guide your action. Let your clarity lead your communication. Let your perspective control your emotions. A strong mindset turns pressure into purpose. It turns failure into fuel. It turns resistance into readiness. That doesn't mean you'll enjoy every hard moment, but it means you won't run from them. You'll face them, you'll grow from them, and you'll come out stronger. You can't build a meaningful life with a weak mind. You can't become a leader with limited thinking. You can't inspire others if you're constantly doubting yourself. Growth starts with mindset. Everything else follows. So today, take a step back from the technical. Ask yourself, am I growing the way I think? Am I challenging myself enough? Am I stretching what I believe is possible for me? That's the real measure of growth. Set goals that aren't just about doing more work. Set goals that change how you think. Build your courage. Train your focus. Sharpen your self-discipline. Raise your standards. These are not technical skills. These are mindset upgrades. And they're what make the difference when others give up. You might be surrounded by people with more credentials. That's fine. You don't need to out-certify anyone. You need to outgrow them mentally. You need to keep learning while they stay stuck. You need to believe bigger while they settle. That's how you win. Mindset is what you carry with you into every room. It's what people feel when you speak. It's what gives your words weight. It's what gives your actions direction. Build that first, and your skills will multiply. Neglect that, and no skill will be enough. So here's the truth. Work skills can be taught in a week, but mindset takes time, and it's the most valuable thing you will ever build. Don't just grow your job, grow your thinking. Don't just improve your output, improve your attitude. Don't just learn the system, learn to think beyond it. Because the people who keep growing are the ones who never stop asking, never stop learning, and never stop believing in the possibility of better. And that belief, once it's in you, will carry you further than any skill ever could. Number 4. Train your discipline before chasing job promotions. Everybody wants to move up. That's normal. Promotions are exciting. More money, more recognition, more responsibility. It all sounds good. But if you don't have discipline, you won't last at the next level. That's why you must train your discipline before you even think about chasing a promotion. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's sticking to your routine when distractions are all around you. It's choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. Without discipline, no title will mean anything. You'll always fall back to your habits. Most people think they need opportunity. What they actually need is consistency. They need the ability to show up every day and deliver. Not just when it's easy or exciting. You don't build that with ambition. You build that with discipline. If you want more responsibility, start by showing you can handle the responsibilities you already have. Are you on time? Do you finish what you start? Do you plan ahead? Do you manage your emotions? Do you follow through without being reminded? These are not flashy traits, but they are the foundation of success. No one is born disciplined. You build it through repetition, through simple daily decisions, waking up when the alarm rings, saying no to distractions, following the schedule you wrote down, reviewing your day before it ends. These things don't impress people, but they build your foundation. Don't wait until you get promoted to start acting like a leader. Start now by mastering the discipline of showing up prepared, staying focused, and staying committed even when nobody notices. If you can't handle pressure at your current level, more pressure will only expose your weaknesses. You don't rise to a new position and suddenly become more capable. You rise to it because you've already built the character, control, and habits that match that level. The promotion just confirms the work you've done in silence. So many people want to be recognized, but few want to pay the price. Discipline is the price. It's the decision to work with intensity, even when you're tired. It's doing the hard thing first. It's setting limits for yourself and keeping them. That's what earns trust. That's what gets noticed. Discipline teaches you how to handle freedom. When you have more freedom at work, it's easy to waste time, to relax, to push things off. But someone who's trained their discipline doesn't need supervision. They work with standards, not moods. They stay accountable to themselves. Train your discipline like it's a skill. Set goals every week and track your results. Review your habits every night. Look at how you spend your time and ask if it lines up with your values. Practice self-control in small things, so you're ready when the big tests come. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. The person who gets promoted is not always the one with the loudest voice. It's the one with the most reliable work. The one who stays calm under stress. The one who doesn't break their word. The one who shows up every day with focus and drive. Discipline means you keep going when progress is slow. You don't need motivation to keep you moving. You trust the process. You stay consistent. You don't ask how you feel. You follow your plan. That kind of control builds confidence. And confidence built on discipline is solid. You're not guessing anymore. You know what you're capable of, because you've proven it to yourself. You've put in the hours, done the work, faced the discomfort. That's where real growth happens. If you chase the promotion without building discipline, you're chasing something you can't hold on to. Eventually, the lack of preparation will catch up. You'll feel overwhelmed. You'll break under pressure. You'll miss deadlines. You'll lose the respect you were hoping to gain. The people who last at the top are not the most talented. They are the most disciplined. They manage their time. They control their energy. They protect their focus. They don't wait for someone to tell them what to do. They already know, and they do it. Discipline is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. And that's what builds trust. When people see that you're steady, consistent, and focused, they start to rely on you. They give you more because you've shown that you can handle more. If you want to lead others, start by leading yourself. Build structure into your day. Set clear rules for how you work, when you rest, how you recover, what you prioritize. Stick to those rules even when it's hard. That's leadership. You don't need a promotion to start building discipline. You start right where you are. You get better at what you do. You finish what you start. You correct your mistakes. You reflect at the end of each day. You plan for tomorrow. That's how you prepare yourself for more. It's easy to admire discipline in other people. It's harder to build it in yourself. But it's worth it, because once you have it, no one can take it from you. You become someone who doesn't need to be pushed. You become someone who creates momentum, not just rides it. Discipline won't give you quick rewards, but it will give you lasting rewards. It will turn you into someone others depend on. It will give you the edge when opportunities come. It will give you peace, because you'll know you've earned everything through effort and commitment. Your promotion begins long before the title changes. It starts when you decide to act with discipline, even when it doesn't feel urgent. It starts when you hold yourself to a higher standard. It starts when you stop making excuses and start making progress. The workplace is full of people waiting to be told what to do. Be the one who doesn't wait. Be the one who creates order in your own life. Be the one who trains daily to be better than yesterday. That's who gets promoted. Discipline is your edge. It gives you control over your time. It strengthens your willpower. It builds your reputation. It makes your work stand out. And it teaches you to focus on what matters, not just what's easy. So stop thinking about titles. Start thinking about habits. Don't chase attention. Chase improvement. Don't hope to get picked. Prepare so you're undeniable, because when your discipline is solid, you don't need to ask for a promotion. You become the obvious choice. Not because you're louder, not because you're flashier, but because your results speak. Your consistency speaks. Your actions speak. Train your discipline. Let it guide your steps. Let it shape your future. Let it speak on your behalf. That's how you grow. That's how you rise. That's how you build a life and a career you can be proud of. Number 5. Strengthen your values more than your job duties. There's a lot of talk these days about doing your job well, meeting targets, completing tasks, being productive. All of that matters. But let me tell you what matters even more. Your values, before your duties come, your principles. Before you focus on what the job asks of you, focus on what you ask of yourself. Strengthen your values more than your job duties, because it's your values that define the kind of person you are when no one's watching. Anyone can follow instructions. Anyone can complete a checklist. But not everyone shows up with integrity, respect, honesty, and humility. Those qualities are not assigned to you by a manager. They come from within. They come from the deep understanding of what kind of life you want to live and what kind of example you want to set. See, your duties can be taught. Your values must be built. A person with strong values doesn't need to be reminded to do the right thing. They don't cut corners when the pressure is on. They don't lie when a mistake is made. They don't look for shortcuts at the expense of others. They act based on what's right, not what's easy. The most powerful people I've known were not always the smartest or the most skilled. They were the most grounded. They had principles that they stood on. They didn't shift just because the situation changed. Their values kept them centered, stable, and clear, especially in moments of stress or uncertainty. Your job duties will change over time. The company may restructure. Your title may evolve. The tools may get updated. But your values, those are constant. And the stronger they are, the stronger your life becomes. That's why you can't neglect them. If you lose your job today, your values stay with you. They're the invisible force behind every choice you make. They guide your behavior, your mindset, your relationships, and your reputation. They are the part of you that no one can take away. You may be praised for your results, but you'll be remembered for your character. That's why you should spend time each day strengthening what you believe in and how you live it out. Do you value responsibility? Then show it in how you manage your time. Do you value honesty? Then be truthful, even when it's uncomfortable. Do you value growth? Then stay open to feedback, even when it stings. These aren't soft qualities. They're strong anchors. They keep you from drifting. A company might give you a job description, but it won't give you your identity. That's your job. You decide what kind of person you want to be. You decide what lines you won't cross. You decide how you'll act when no one is clapping or watching. That's where strength is formed. People sometimes focus so much on impressing others at work that they forget to impress themselves. They forget to check if their actions line up with their standards. But your peace and your pride come from knowing you've stayed true to your core, not from outside rewards. If you value kindness, show it in how you treat people, not just your clients. If you value hard work, let it show in the small things, not just the big projects. If you value learning, pursue it even when it's not required. That's how values turn into habits. And when you live by strong values, you make decisions faster. You don't wrestle with your conscience every time a challenge comes up. You already know your answer, because it's shaped by your beliefs. You act with clarity, not confusion. Job duties tell you what to do. Values tell you how to do it. You can do the job, but if you do it with disrespect, dishonesty, or selfishness, you're not building anything worth keeping. But when your values shape your work, the work becomes meaningful. Even in tough environments, even when others bend the rules, even when you feel like cutting corners, your values protect you from becoming someone you won't respect. They give you a standard to return to. When the world feels chaotic, strong values also build trust. People know what to expect from you. They see that you're not just chasing rewards. You're showing up with purpose. You're consistent. You're dependable. That's what people follow. That's what leaders are made of. Without values, you'll be swayed by pressure. You'll sacrifice your peace for performance. You'll start to do what's popular instead of what's right. And over time, you'll lose yourself. That's a high price to pay for a promotion or a paycheck. So build the inner life before chasing outer success. Know what matters most to you and act like it. Write it down if you need to. Review it regularly. Check in with yourself. Ask, am I becoming the kind of person I respect? Am I standing on my values or compromising them? No amount of technical skill will make up for the lack of strong character. No title will replace the confidence that comes from living true. No praise will fill the gap that appears when you ignore your own principles. That's why you build values first. Your job may tell you when to start and finish your day, but it's your values that decide what kind of effort you bring. Your job may reward your performance, but it's your values that decide how you treat people along the way. Your job may shape your duties, but your values shape your legacy. So, Ask yourself, what do I believe in? What do I stand for? What kind of person do I want to become? No matter the role, no matter the company. Then start living it. Let every action reflect it. Let every decision support it. You won't always get it right. No one does. But every day you stay committed to your values is a day you grow stronger. And over time that strength compounds. It turns into respect. It turns into leadership. It turns into a life that means something. You won't remember every task you completed at work, but you'll remember whether you lived with honor, whether you told the truth, whether you stood up for what mattered, whether you kept your word. That's the part of your story that lasts. So build your values daily. Guard them. Strengthen them. Let them shape your choices. Because when the job is gone, when the applause fades, when the title changes, your values are what remain. And if you've built them strong, they will carry you through anything. Number 6. Improve your thinking more than your job output. If you want to change your life, start by changing how you think. Before you focus on what you produce at work, take a serious look at how you process ideas, how you see the world, and how you respond to challenges. Improve your thinking more than your job output, because the quality of your thoughts drives the quality of everything you do. You don't need a better job to move forward. You need a better mindset. You need to sharpen how you approach problems. You need to improve how you make decisions. You need to stop working harder and start thinking clearer. Most people stay stuck, not because they don't work enough, but because they think too small or too scattered. You can be busy all day and still make very little progress if your thinking is full of doubt, confusion, or outdated beliefs. You can complete every task on your list and still fall short if you're not stopping to think critically about what matters, why it matters, and how to do it better. When your thinking improves, everything improves. You ask better questions. You become more focused. You understand your priorities. You learn to filter what deserves your attention and what doesn't. You don't waste energy chasing what isn't aligned with your values or your goals. Most people try to solve every problem by working longer hours. That's a mistake. There are limits to how much you can produce in a day, but there are no limits to how deeply and clearly you can think. One good idea, one clear insight, one moment of clarity that can save you weeks of wasted effort. You've seen it before. People running fast in the wrong direction. They're active, but they're not intentional. They're checking boxes, but not moving forward. That happens when you focus on output more than insight. That happens when you ignore reflection. Your job might ask you to deliver results, but if you want to rise, you've got to improve how you think. Are you reactive or proactive? Do you plan your day or let it happen to you? Do you look for root causes or just fix surface problems? These habits of thought determine your level of performance. Thinking well doesn't mean overthinking. It means being deliberate. It means slowing down before you speed up. It means knowing why you're doing something and what impact it creates. It means examining your beliefs and updating them when necessary. You don't rise in your career just by doing more. You rise by seeing what others miss, by making smarter decisions, by solving problems that others avoid. That takes more than output. It takes mental strength, mental clarity, and mental discipline. Read more, question more, reflect more, spend time understanding your own patterns. Look at how you talk to yourself. Study how you handle pressure. Notice how you interpret failure. Your thinking is shaping your actions every day, even when you don't realize it. Your job output can make you look good for a moment, but your thinking determines how long you stay effective. Your thoughts influence your confidence. They guide your strategy. They shape how you lead others and how you respond when things go wrong. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become more aware of how you think. You need to upgrade your mental habits. Are you optimistic or negative? Are you solution-focused or problem-obsessed? Are you curious or defensive? These differences matter. Good thinking leads to good habits. Good habits lead to consistent growth. Consistent growth leads to long-term success. It all starts in the mind. And the best part, you can train your mind every single day. You can feed it strong ideas. You can challenge it to stay sharp. You can use it to rise above limitations. When something isn't working, don't just try harder. Ask better questions. Ask what the real issue is. Ask how you can approach it differently. Ask what assumptions you're making. That's how strong thinkers operate. They don't just repeat, they revise. Your thinking affects your communication. It influences your choices. It guides how you manage your time. It determines what you pursue and what you avoid. So improving your thinking isn't just about being smart. It's about being intentional with every part of your life. Don't be someone who's always doing, but never growing. Don't be someone who completes tasks, but never questions why. Don't let your mind get lazy just because your hands are busy. Stay sharp. Stay curious. Stay committed to becoming more thoughtful. The people who rise are not just fast. They're focused, not just consistent. They're clear, not just active. They're aware. And that kind of growth doesn't come from more job output. It comes from deeper thinking. Create space in your day for silence. Think through your goals. Break down your mistakes. Study what's working and what's not. Ask yourself how you can improve, not just in action but in thought. This kind of discipline builds wisdom, and wisdom leads to better outcomes. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better than yesterday. One clear thought can open a new door. One new insight can save hours. One shift in perspective can change how you lead, how you serve, and how you grow. Don't wait until you're told to think differently. Choose it now. Don't rely on circumstances to change your mind. Take responsibility for your mental environment. Read, write, question, study, review. Become a student of your own thinking process. And remember, your thinking creates your future. You can't rise above the quality of your thoughts. You can't make smart moves with a scattered mind. You can't build a strong life with weak mental habits. So protect your mind. Strengthen it. Challenge it. Number 7. Upgrade your attitude before upgrading your position. If you want more from life, you need to bring more to life. Before you ask for a better position, you must check the condition of your attitude. Upgrade your attitude before upgrading your position, because how you think and how you show up matter far more than the title next to your name. You don't earn your way into higher roles by just waiting. You rise when your attitude makes you ready. There are many people chasing bigger jobs with a bitter mindset. They want more responsibility but bring negativity into every room. They ask for leadership but don't carry themselves with calm, clarity, or confidence. The truth is, your attitude is noticed long before your resume is read. People can sense your energy. They feel your tone. They watch how you treat others when no one's keeping score. Attitude is not just about being positive. It's about being responsible for how you carry yourself. It's about approaching each day with a mindset that says, I will do my best no matter the conditions. That kind of mindset doesn't depend on moods or surroundings. It's a choice you make, and it's a choice that builds trust. Before anyone gives you more influence, they want to see how you handle the role you're already in. Are you grateful or resentful? Are you humble or entitled? Do you support your team or just promote yourself? These small moments reveal your character, and they shape your future more than you know. Some people think their job is too small to matter, so they bring a small attitude to it. But that's a mistake. When you carry yourself with pride, even in the smallest role, people take notice. When you show patience, when you stay grounded, when you bring your full effort, doors begin to open. The attitude you carry today shapes the opportunities you'll receive tomorrow. If you're waiting for a title to feel important, you'll stay waiting. But if you treat your current role with respect, you'll start to grow. And that growth will show not just in what you do, but in how you are. An upgraded position might change your pay, but an upgraded attitude will change your whole path. Promotions come and go. What stays with you is how you think, how you treat people, how you handle pressure, and how you talk to yourself when things get hard. A poor attitude shows up in silence, in sarcasm, in complaining, in blame. It pulls people down. It slows progress. It blocks solutions. No company promotes that energy, no matter how skilled you are. On the other hand, a strong attitude lifts people. It brings clarity in chaos. It helps teams move forward, and that kind of presence gets remembered. Start with how you show up. Do you arrive with purpose, or do you drag yourself through the day? Do you focus on solutions, or do you point out every problem? Do you take ownership, or do you make excuses? These habits of mind and behavior are more powerful than any technical skill. Your attitude is your message to the world, and it speaks louder than your words. It shows in your body language, your effort, your response to failure, and your ability to work with others. People may not always agree with you, but if they respect your attitude, they'll trust your leadership. Leadership doesn't begin when you get the title. It begins the moment you decide to set the right example. That example starts with how you think and how you act. Every interaction is a chance to show maturity, calm, and strength. You don't need a promotion to carry yourself like a leader. One of the most important traits you can build is emotional control. Can you stay composed when things don't go your way? Can you keep your tone steady when someone challenges you? Can you keep your ego in check when success arrives? These are the real tests, and they're passed not with talent but with the right attitude. When you develop a great attitude, people want to work with you. You become the kind of person who lifts the room. You bring peace, not drama. You offer help instead of complaints. You focus on what you can control. That kind of energy is rare, and that's why it's valuable. You don't upgrade your position by wishing. You upgrade it by proving that you're ready. And being ready doesn't mean being perfect. It means being grounded, consistent, and intentional in how you move through the day. You may not control what role you're in right now, but you always control how you carry it. Some people try to climb the ladder with pride alone. They think their title makes them someone. But real success doesn't start with a title. It starts with self-respect. If you bring a strong attitude, you'll naturally stand out. You'll rise without needing to push or demand it. It's not about fake smiles or pretending everything is perfect. It's about keeping your head up in hard moments. It's about being steady when things are uncertain. It's about showing character when it would be easier to walk away. These moments shape your reputation. Ask yourself, how do I show up when no one's watching? How do I respond when plans fall apart? How do I speak to people who can't do anything for me? These moments are not just tests. They're preparation, and your future roles will be shaped by how you handle them. Build an attitude of patience, not pressure, of progress, not perfection, of effort, not ego. When you live this way, opportunities begin to appear, because people want to work with those who make things better. And attitude is what makes things better. Growth happens when you take pride in where you are, even if it's not where you want to be. It happens when you stop waiting for better conditions and start improving your own condition. When you start acting like someone who's already worthy of more. There's no shortcut here. You can't skip your way to the top, but you can build a mindset that prepares you for anything. And that mindset will carry you further than any job ever could. So if you want a higher position, bring a higher attitude. Be the calm in the storm. Be the one who listens. Be the one who shows up prepared. Be the one who sees the bigger picture. Not for praise, but because that's who you choose to be. You don't get a better position and then act better. You act better and then earn a better position. That's the real order. That's how growth works.
Number 8. Push your self-growth harder than your work hours. If you truly want to change your life, you must push your self-growth harder than your work hours. Not a little more. A lot more. Because the world does not pay you simply for your hours. It pays you for the value you bring to those hours. And that value comes from who you are becoming, not just what you are doing. You can put in 10 hours a day at your job and still feel stuck. You can meet deadlines, complete checklists, and follow procedures, and still stay exactly where you are. Because self-growth is the engine. And without that engine, the work becomes routine. It lacks edge. It lacks momentum. It lacks depth. Too many people believe that more hours automatically equal more success. They get caught in the trap of activity. They confuse effort with progress. They forget that without becoming more, doing more will eventually lead to burnout. Because the body can only go so far without the mind evolving. Your work hours might get you paid, but your self-growth is what multiplies your value. It expands your thinking. It sharpens your decisions. It builds your confidence. It strengthens your focus. And over time, it opens doors your hard work alone never could.
Self-growth is not about information. It's about transformation. It's about being honest with where you are and clear about where you want to be. It's about breaking patterns that don't serve you and building new ones that push you forward. It's about asking real questions. What habits are holding me back? What beliefs are limiting my growth? What areas of my life need more attention? This work isn't easy. It's not quick, but it is necessary. And it's the only path to lasting success. Because without growing yourself, everything you build eventually breaks. You reach limits not because the opportunity disappears, but because you've stopped evolving to meet it. People think success is about strategy. And yes, strategy matters. But the real breakthroughs come when you develop as a person, when you become more disciplined, when you learn to control your emotions, when you develop the maturity to do the hard things even when you don't feel like it. Ask yourself, are you putting as much energy into your character as you are into your tasks? Are you setting time aside to study, reflect, and grow? Or are you just surviving the day, hoping something will change? Real change doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you make growth a priority. Read books that stretch you. Spend time with people who challenge you. Reflect on your habits. Practice being uncomfortable. Ask for feedback even when it's hard to hear. Learn from your failures instead of hiding from them. These are the habits of someone who is serious about self-growth. This kind of work builds something far greater than results. It builds resilience. It builds awareness. It builds the kind of mindset that doesn't crack under pressure and doesn't shrink when challenged. It builds a foundation that holds strong when life tests you. And life will test you. Your job won't always be secure. The people around you won't always support you. The world will shift, and you will be forced to adapt. The only way to prepare for that is to invest in who you are, not just what you do. When you grow yourself, you don't just react, you respond. You don't just follow, you lead. You don't just produce, you create. And those are the qualities that set you apart. Those are the qualities that make people want to work with you, trust you, follow you. But it starts with intention. You can't grow without a plan. You must decide, what do I want to improve this month? How do I want to think differently? What habit do I need to break? What skill do I need to build? These questions guide your time and energy in the right direction. Working long hours with no growth turns into frustration, because you feel like you're giving everything and getting little in return. But when you grow yourself, even slow progress feels meaningful. Even hard days feel like part of the process. Your work hours serve a purpose, but they are not the end goal. The goal is to grow strong enough to choose your path, not just follow one. To rise to a place where your presence brings clarity, your decisions bring results, and your mindset brings vision. There are people who are brilliant at what they do, but never grow beyond their role. Why? Because they never invested in themselves. They thought showing up was enough. They thought being busy meant being valuable. But busyness is not the same as development. Don't wait for your job to demand growth from you. Demand it from yourself. Get clear on the kind of person you want to become, and pursue that version of yourself relentlessly. Not once in a while, not when it's convenient, but every single day. Spend the first part of your day feeding your mind, not just checking your phone. Write your thoughts, track your patterns, review your decisions. These small actions done consistently create big changes over time. And be patient. Growth is not instant. You won't see results tomorrow. But that's not the point. The point is to become someone who can handle more, contribute more, and inspire more, because you've done the inner work to back it up. People respect results, but they follow growth. They are drawn to people who keep evolving, who stay humble, and who never settle. Be that kind of person, and you will find that your value grows faster than any job description ever could define. So yes, work hard at your job. Show up, do your part, but never let that replace the work of growing yourself. Because one day your position might change, your role might shift, but the person you become, that stays with you, that travels with you, that opens doors even when none seem available. When others are grinding through another long day, you'll be thinking bigger. When others are drained by pressure, you'll be stronger for it, because you didn't just put in time, you put in growth. You didn't just move, you improved. Number 9. Master your emotions more than your job roles. Mastering your emotions is more important than mastering your job roles, because the way you handle your emotions directly affects how you handle your responsibilities. In every role you take on, whether it's as an employee, manager, entrepreneur, or leader, emotions will play a significant role in determining how successful you are. When you learn to master your emotions, you not only manage your tasks more effectively, but also become a more stable and reliable person in every situation. Emotions are powerful. They influence your thoughts, actions, and decisions. If you let your emotions run unchecked, they will control you. They will make decisions for you that you might later regret. This is why emotional mastery is key. It's not about ignoring your feelings or suppressing them, but about understanding them and responding thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. When you're at work, emotions are constantly at play. A colleague might frustrate you, a project might stress you out, or you might feel overwhelmed by a heavy workload. These feelings are normal. What matters is how you handle them. If you let anger, frustration, or anxiety dictate your actions, your judgment will be clouded, and you may make decisions that harm your career or relationships with others. The first step to mastering your emotions is awareness. You have to be aware of what you're feeling and why. If you're feeling angry, take a moment to pause and reflect on why that is. What triggered the anger? Is it a reaction to something in the present, or are you carrying baggage from the past? Awareness gives you control because it helps you separate your emotions from your actions. Once you understand the source of your emotions, you can choose how to respond rather than letting the emotion control you. The second step is emotional regulation. Emotional regulation means that instead of allowing your feelings to escalate and control your behavior, you learn to regulate them in a way that is productive. This doesn't mean bottling them up. Rather, it means allowing yourself to feel the emotion, acknowledging it, but not letting it dictate your next move. When you're angry, take deep breaths. When you're anxious, practice grounding techniques. These strategies allow you to regain control of your emotions and prevent them from negatively impacting your actions. Mastering your emotions also requires self-discipline. Emotional discipline means resisting the urge to react impulsively. It means practicing patience, even when things aren't going your way. If you're upset with a colleague or boss, instead of lashing out, pause. Take time to think about your response. Ask yourself, what outcome do I want? What do I want to achieve by reacting in this situation? When you approach your emotions with discipline, you're more likely to make decisions that serve your long-term goals. Your emotions are deeply connected to your mindset. If you have a mindset that views challenges as opportunities, you will approach your emotions differently. Instead of feeling defeated by setbacks, you will feel motivated to find solutions. When you master your emotions, you learn how to use them as fuel for growth. For example, instead of letting frustration consume you, use it as motivation to work harder and find a better way to solve the problem at hand. You might even find that emotions like frustration, if handled properly, can be powerful catalysts for positive change. Self-awareness also extends to how you view others' emotions. Emotional mastery is not just about controlling your own feelings. It's also about understanding and empathizing with others' emotions. When you can recognize the emotions of the people around you, you can respond to them in a way that strengthens your relationships. If you're able to read the room and sense that a colleague is upset, you can adjust your communication style to meet them where they are. This emotional intelligence makes you a more effective communicator and a better leader. You will face challenges that trigger strong emotions, but what separates successful individuals from others is how they handle those emotions. It's easy to get overwhelmed when things go wrong. It's easy to let fear or anger take over, but when you master your emotions, you are more likely to stay calm under pressure. You'll make better decisions. You'll handle conflicts with grace. You'll see opportunities where others see problems. One of the most important parts of mastering your emotions is learning how to manage stress. Stress is inevitable. It's a natural part of life and work, but how you respond to stress can either break you down or help you grow. The more you practice emotional control, the better you will be at managing stress when it arises. Stress management is not about eliminating stress but about building your ability to handle it without letting it interfere with your performance. Managing your emotions also builds resilience. The ability to recover from setbacks, disappointments, or failures is critical to success. Emotions often accompany these challenges, and if you're not careful, they can prevent you from moving forward. But when you master your emotions, you develop the resilience to bounce back stronger. You understand that failure is not the end but part of the process. Your emotions will no longer paralyze you. Instead, they will empower you to keep pushing forward. Another powerful benefit of mastering your emotions is that it enhances your decision-making ability. Emotions often cloud our judgment. When we make decisions based on how we feel in the moment, we risk making impulsive or reactive choices that we later regret. But when you master your emotions, you can make decisions based on logic and reason, rather than emotional impulses. You learn to step back from your emotions, assess the situation objectively, and then choose the best course of action. Mastering your emotions also improves your personal relationships. Whether you're dealing with family members, friends, or colleagues, your ability to control your emotions affects how others perceive and interact with you. People are drawn to those who can stay calm, empathetic, and constructive in difficult situations. When you become emotionally intelligent, your relationships grow stronger because others can rely on you to remain level-headed, even when things get tough. Ultimately, mastering your emotions is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. It's something you work on daily. But as you improve your emotional control, you will see the impact it has on every area of your life. You'll perform better at work. You'll handle challenges more gracefully. You'll build stronger, healthier relationships. And most importantly, you'll become a more powerful, grounded, and confident person.
Number 10. Invest in yourself more than in your paycheck. Investing in yourself more than in your paycheck is one of the most powerful decisions you can make for your future. Too many people focus on their immediate income, thinking that a higher paycheck is the key to long-term happiness and success. But the truth is, the greatest investment you can make is not in the money you earn, but in the skills, mindset, and personal growth that will enable you to create lasting wealth, fulfillment, and impact. Your paycheck is a reflection of the work you do today, but your personal investment shapes who you become tomorrow. It's easy to think of your income as the measure of your worth, but what if the value you bring to the table isn't just defined by the hours you put in, but by the person you are becoming as a result of the choices you make to invest in yourself? The first step is understanding that true success comes from continuous growth. A paycheck might pay the bills, but it won't buy you lasting happiness or fulfillment. What will lead you to greater success is the decision to invest in your own skills, knowledge, and self-awareness. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of earning more money, but money is simply a byproduct of value, and the only way to increase your value is to develop yourself. When you invest in yourself, you open doors to greater opportunities. Every book you read, every skill you master, every new experience you seek out adds to your value. Your mind becomes sharper, your ability to solve problems becomes stronger, and your capacity to connect with others becomes more meaningful. These are the true assets that will compound over time, creating a foundation for wealth that goes far beyond any paycheck. People who consistently invest in themselves understand that growth is the key to unlocking potential. This isn't just about financial growth, it's about growth in your mindset, emotional intelligence, and leadership skills. You can earn more money, but if you don't grow as a person, that money will not elevate your life in the way you hope. The richest people in the world didn't get there just by working harder, they got there by investing in themselves. They focused on developing their skills, strengthening their relationships, and mastering their thoughts and emotions. The paychecks came, but the growth came first. Investing in yourself means putting in the time and effort to learn and improve. It's not enough to simply show up at work, complete tasks, and collect a paycheck. You need to be proactive in your own development. This means taking courses, attending seminars, reading books, and seeking out mentors who can guide you toward becoming the best version of yourself. It's about becoming a lifelong learner, understanding that your value in the marketplace is tied to your commitment to improving yourself, not just your job performance. In a world that constantly changes, the only way to stay ahead is to keep learning. Your job might provide you with a paycheck today,
but it won't guarantee your future success. The industries and technologies that shape the economy are evolving at a rapid pace, and the only way to remain relevant is to invest in acquiring new skills. The knowledge you gain today may not seem immediately profitable, but over time, it will open doors that you never could have anticipated. It may allow you to take on bigger roles, start your own business, or contribute in ways you never imagined. When you invest in yourself, you become a more valuable asset in any role you take on. Whether you work for a company or run your own business, the better you become at managing your time, your skills, and your relationships, the more you'll be able to contribute. This isn't just about earning a paycheck, it's about creating a life where you are constantly learning, growing, and adding value to the world around you. You'll be better equipped to solve problems, innovate, and lead others. These abilities will make you indispensable, and when you become indispensable, opportunities will find you. But investing in yourself goes beyond professional development. It's also about personal growth. Your emotional health, physical well-being, and relationships play a critical role in your overall success. If you neglect these areas, no paycheck will ever be enough to fill the void. Investing in yourself means dedicating time to work on your mental and emotional health. It means creating habits that support your long-term well-being, such as exercise, meditation, and self-reflection. It means cultivating a mindset of gratitude and resilience so that when life challenges you, you can handle it with strength and grace. This holistic approach to self-investment is what separates those who succeed in the long run from those who are merely going through the motions. The more you invest in your overall well-being, the more energy and clarity you'll have to focus on your career and personal goals. You'll be able to handle stress better, think more clearly, and approach challenges with a positive mindset. All of these traits will contribute to your ability to create and seize opportunities. In the end, investing in yourself is the ultimate way to secure your financial future. The more you develop your skills and expand your knowledge, the more valuable you become. You can increase your earning potential, but the key is to do it in a way that aligns with your values, passions, and long-term vision. When you invest in yourself, you become the architect of your own destiny. You take control of your future instead of leaving it up to chance. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that more money will solve your problems. But if you don't invest in yourself, the money you earn will never bring you true fulfillment. The greatest returns come from the investment you make in yourself. It's the skills you build, the mindset you develop, and the person you become that will shape the success you achieve. And when you become the best version of yourself, the paycheck will follow.